Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the Court of the EDI Jester. How are we, everybody? Good morning, good evening, and good night. Bloody hell, it's cold. This is important for a number of reasons, right? Not least of all, it's a really good example of what's happening across the West and what's happening to our institutions in Britain, which is a coup. It's a coup, right? So have a listen. You tell me what you think in the comments, but most of all, can you please share this, because we need to get this one out here. Click share. Share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, wherever you want to share it. But let's get it out there, because this is a perfect example of exactly what's happening. And really, I'm not so sure there's any way we can stop it at this point. We're so weak in terms of our government and our institutions. I'm not sure we can stop it anymore. It was never just about gender. But then, you know, I'll let you decide. You tell me in the comments what you think. Charitable fund gets rid of entire board in diversity push. Charitable fund gets rid of entire board in diversity push. Article in the Telegraph by Poppy Coburn. Tudor Trust puts social justice and anti-racism at the heart of its mission. One of Britain's biggest charitable trusts is dismissing its entire board as part of a diversity drive after branding itself white and privileged. The Tudor Trust, which has an endowment, wait for it, of 288 million and received 2.35 million of government funding in 2018, wants a more diverse group and has put social justice and anti-racism at the heart of its work. This is a charity, a charitable trust, right? Make no bones about it, social justice and anti-racism have nothing to do with charity. They are a wholly ideological and political force. The group, which awards about 20 million a year through charitable grants, was founded in 1955 with the financial support of Sir Godfrey Mitchell, founder of the construction company George Wimpey, one of the great British institutions, Wimpey. Several of his descendants have held trusteeships, including Matthew Dunwell and his brother Benjamin, both of whom could face the sack. An email from interim chair Raji Hujan of the Tudor Trust, seen by the Telegraph, reveals that the charity plans a wholesale change of the family-led board. The parallels are amazing, isn't it? They're here to attack the family. New trustees and a permanent chair, more representative of the demographics and lived experiences of the communities we serve. Can you see what it is yet? As the old perv used to say. Right? They will be appointed instead of everybody else. The overhaul is expected to be complete by August 2024. The changes follow an internal anti-racist review, which is now what's happening is they think, see, these stupid people running these things think that anti-racist is anti-racism, right? Anti-racist and anti-racism are nothing to do with racism, right? They are wholly political, ideological ideas designed to make people go after each other. They pits one against the other. They are in fact racism, right? So that's what you've got to understand. That's the first thing. The trust said in March that it would move away from its long history as a family trust and replace trustees as part of a reimagining process, which is, in other words, this is the idea, this is the Maoist idea, yeah? A reimagining. Ms. Hujan was appointed in June to oversee the transition, with the trust's website touting her commitment to racial and social justice. There it is, commitment to racial and social justice. It is understood the trust is using Cadence Partners, a diversity and inclusion consultancy, for their hiring process. The group specialises in inclusive recruitment and building talent pipelines for minority, ethnic, disability, gender, LGBTQ+ people, and lists revolutionary Marxist Angela Davis as a voice for social justice. Other clients for the group include the Trussell Trust and the RSPCA. Several external figures have also been consulted in the search for the new board. This includes the co-founder of the Power and Integrity Project, whose mission statement asserts that colonialism, patriarchy and racism intersect and underpin most unjust societal norms, which skew society in favour of existing privilege. This is pure critical race theory, Maoism. It's a purely political, right, and cultural phenomenon. They have let a cult in, and the cult is taking over. This is what's happening in Britain, folks, and, you know, wakey wakey. In November 2020, the Trust released a racial justice statement in response to the racially disproportionate impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and Black Lives Matter protests. The statement acknowledged the white and privileged profile of the existing board, connecting their lack of representation to their status as a family-led trust. Can you see what it is yet? The Trust provides funding for a wide range of charitable organisations and lists grants in their latest annual report to a self-help charity in Glasgow led by and for racialised women, and a community interest company in Leeds taking a gendered approach to establishing and supporting user-led support groups. This is exactly what's happening. In this one microcosm, this is exactly what's happening across the UK. Ms Hunan released a statement on LinkedIn in October advertising vacancies for a permanent chair and 3 trusteeships who can centre intersectional racial justice in our work. The Trust decisions is guided by a desire to be governed by a more diverse group of trustees. No, they aren't. All of them will think the same. This is Maoism. This is the Borg. The Trust listed 18 employees headquartered at the Nottingham Hill office in their 2022 account filing. According to the leaked email, the organisation is now very small, with a public posting on the group's website advertising for 3 trustees, including a chair designate, in the first round of hiring. The email notes that some staff have already left the organisation. In other words, the infection has taken full hold. Christopher Graves, who was paid a salary of $120,000, stepped down from his position as executive director in April after 38 years of service. He has not taken up a position at another organisation. Shilpa Shah stood down as trustee in March 2022 to take on the role of independent facilitator during the reimagining. Alongside the head of finance, Abida Mohamed, she leads the Racial Justice Organising Group within Tudor, which seeks to develop approaches to strengthen psychological safety for racialised colleagues. The Trust drew criticism in the spring after announcing a pause on new applicants for grants in order to focus on internal racial justice, citing a desire to learn about white supremacy culture. Grant-making capabilities will be reopened next year, guided by the new chair, with applicants asked to list whether their operations are led by BAME, deaf or disabled people. Notice that BAME, deaf or disabled. That's forced. They're forced teaming the cult of BAME with the real needs of deaf or disabled people. So that's that forced teaming again. What you just have to take that to mean BAME, and it'll be LGBTQ as well, right? Because the rest won't happen. That's my guess. Baroness Tina Stowell, former head of Charity Commission, said that grant-making charitable foundations are powerful contributors to charities delivering huge benefits to people and communities. It's a matter for every foundation which charities they choose to support, but it'd be worrying and could limit the benefit of charitable endeavour if foundations allowed contested political agendas to start influencing grant-making decisions. A spokesperson for the Tudor Trust stated that the group had embarked on a well-established step change in its mission, which involves reviewing the giving priorities of the charity to reflect contemporary needs for our grantee community. As part of that planned evolution, the trustees resolved to refresh the board with the objective of making it more representative of the demographics and lived experience of the community we serve. Lived experience. It's cult speak. We're immensely grateful to our trustees who helped us reach this stage in our journey. As you take everything from them, and wish all those who decided to take this opportunity to pass on the baton all the best for the future. They really are nasty bastards, aren't they? And the related topics, according to the Telegraph, are woke, racism, LGBTQ and Black Lives Matter. And that's what's happening right across the board, across Britain. In next year, the likelihood is that we're going to have a Labour government, and Labour is exactly the same. Hold your kids tight, folks. My generation, right, us old farts, 50 plus, certainly those who are now 70, who were the post-generation war boom children, are one by one giving up, and you need to know that. I had a phone call yesterday from somebody I was speaking to who's been quite active in writing and doing things like this, and it was somebody in their mid-60s, and he just said, "I'm done. That's it. They can live in their own shit." That was his words. And if we don't speak up and if we don't get going, now this Charity Commission can do nothing without our help. That's what we should be doing right now. We should be looking at these people and we should complain that they are a political organisation pretending to be a charitable organisation with a belief system that needs to be reported to prevent, because their only intention is to tear us down. But hey, I'm just a tin hat nutter on the internet. What do I know? See you later.